Welcome to the deep dive. If you're looking for that shortcut to being, really well informed, you're in the right place. Today, we're tackling a piece of car tech that definitely needs a closer look,
We are. It's the WOLFBOX G840S. That's the 12-inch mirror dash cam.
right? And our mission today is, well, it's to cut through some conflicting signals we're seeing.
Exactly. We've got professional reviews saying, wow, amazing tech. But then, stack right against that is customer feedback, talking about some pretty serious real-world problems. Reliability, even safety issues.
So, yeah, quite the gap there. We need to unpack that huge difference and figure out if this whole promise of premium features, mid-range price is actually worth the risk for you.
Let's start with the specs, because honestly, they do sound impressive. Very future-forward, like you said.
Yeah, it's a full mirror replacement, dual cameras. You get 4K resolution from the front camera, which is huge, and then 1080p from the rear.
And it boasts this massive 12-inch LCD screen, supposedly low reflectivity too.
Plus, they've included WDR and HDR technology.
Which is crucial, right? For you, the driver, that basically means the camera should handle tricky lighting much better. Like, coming out of a dark tunnel into bright sun.
Okay.
It shouldn't wash out the image or leave important details lost in shadow. That's key for getting clear evidence if something happens.
And we can confirm some of the core stuff is outstanding. Sources say when a unit is working properly, the night vision is way better than your average dash cam.
Yeah, much better. We're seeing reports confirming it gives you clear license plate details at night. That's exactly the kind of proof insurance companies look for.
So, okay, stunning specs, potentially great night vision. But let's pivot now. Where does it all start to get complicated for users? What's the big headache people run into after they're impressed by the specs?
Well, it often starts right at the beginning. The installation.
Yeah, so not just a simple plug-it-in situation.
Definitely not. For the average person, this can be a major hurdle. It needs hardwiring to work optimally.
Hardware.
And users report needing to be really careful where they position it to avoid messing with the car's built-in safety systems, like ADAS sensors.
Right, you don't want to block those.
Exactly. And we saw multiple comments in our sources where people just gave up and hired a professional installer, which of course adds a pretty significant, often unexpected cost to the whole thing.
Okay, so installation is a pain, potentially costly. But is there anything more serious, like a user complaint that feels like a genuine danger, not just an inconvenience?
Unfortunately, yes. And this is probably the most critical point we found.
Right.
Issues when reversing.
Reversing? What happens?
Customers consistently report the backup camera doing this weird, inappropriate zoom when they shift into reverse.
Hang on, zooming in when you need the widest possible view.
Precisely. It basically turns that essential wide-angle peripheral view into this narrow tunnel vision snapshot. It completely defeats the purpose of having a wide backup view in the first place.
Wow.
Yeah, people are calling it a major safety flaw. Understandably. You lose all that crucial context around the car.
Okay, that's really concerning. So let's say you manage the tricky install and maybe you get lucky and avoid the zooming issue. You're still facing what we're calling the reliability lottery, right?
That seems to be the case. It feels like maybe they invested heavily in the camera sensor and the optics, the parts that deliver that great video quality, but perhaps cut corners on, say, the processing chip or other core components. That inconsistency is likely where the lottery aspect comes in.
So some people get a perfectly fine unit.
Right, seamless use. But others get stuck with units that just randomly fail to turn on. Or they report really slow boot-up times. We saw reports mentioning up to 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Imagine needing that footage right after an accident and it's still booting up.
Exactly. Or the connection between the front and rear cameras just drops. It points to inconsistent quality control during manufacturing.
And there are software issues too.
Yeah, some nuances there. People mentioned a steep learning curve for their special GV player software, which you apparently need to handle the 4K files properly. Wi-Fi connectivity for downloading footage was another common complaint, just unreliable.
And the fact that they offer an 18-month warranty.
It does sort of suggest the company knows these quality issues might pop up, doesn't it? It's longer than standard for many electronics.
So wrapping this all up, what's the bottom line for you, the listener?
Well, the WOLFBOX G840S can deliver genuinely impressive, cutting-edge video when it decides to work correctly. It offers those premium-sounding features, but it clearly lacks the kind of rock-solid reliability you'd expect from more established and, yeah, usually more expensive competitors. Brands like Blackview or Thinkware come to mind. They might not always have the absolute bleeding-edge specs, but they have a reputation for just working.
So if you're technically savvy, may be comfortable with doing a complex install yourself or willing to pay for one,
And if you accept there's a real chance you might have to deal with customer service for a replacement unit,
then maybe the video quality makes it worth considering.
possibly. But if you need something simple, something you can basically install and forget about, knowing you'll be reliable day in, day out,
Then you should probably steer clear of this one.
yeah, definitely skip it. And this whole situation really makes you think, doesn't it? It forces you to ask yourself a fundamental question when buying new tech.
How much hassle are you willing to put up with?
Exactly. How much potential frustration, how much installation headache are you willing to trade for getting those cutting-edge specs at a more attractive price point?
Yeah.
That's really something for you to mull over.
Definitely food for thought. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.